Well, hi guys, welcome back to my video channel. It's been a little while since we've done one of these, so I just wanted to jump back on board. Had some ideas recently in terms of improvising. Just very simple ideas that we can use to get around chords and make sure that our solos sort of fit right inside the chords and the chords that are changing to. So I wanted just to talk briefly today about the use of chord tones in improvising. Chord tones with guitar, and in fact, music in general is something that it's going to help us just make our solos and even just single note lines sound correct. In other words, it doesn't sound like we're fumbling around, trying to work out, what we're playing over certain chords. These are very definitive sounds that will definitely nail the chord that you're playing over, and it will fit. Okay, so we're going to just be using very simple chords today. 1, 4, 5 chord progression in E, being an E chord as the 1 chord, an A as the 4 chord, and a B or a B7 as the 5 chord. All right, and we're going to be using only 2 notes to work around all of those 3 chords. So the notes I'm going to be using is going to be the E note. Now E is going to work over, of course, the E chord itself. That's the root note or the tonic. The E is also going to work over the A chord. Why? Because the E is the 5th degree of the A chord. So an A typically would be A as your root note, C sharp as your major third, and then E as your 5th. So the E is part of that A chord, so it will work over an A chord. The 4 chord, beg pardon, the 5 chord, the B7 is I'm going to use a D sharp note over the B7. The D sharp is the 3rd degree of the B7 chord. And so again, it'll fit right over it. So I've got a little looper pedal here. I'm going to just play those chords a couple of times through, and I'm going to show you how this works. Now, this is definitely a great beginner's tool to work through chords if you're not sure of, what should I do, before you get into the area of scales and modes and that kind of thing. This is a fantastic sort of concept to use when you are playing. Also applies to advanced players. So when you're playing and you're sort of shredding, or you're playing over chords, you can definitely use this concept perhaps to create some tension in your sound. It's a great way of doing it. So I'm going to give you a real sort of simple demo of it first. So here we go. There's E again over A. So that's a very, very sort of simple idea. It's just 2 notes we're using over those 3 chords. Now, we can extend that out a little bit. 2 notes, we can make it 3 notes. So with 3, for example, we can still stick with the E note over the E and A chords. But when it comes to the B7, we can also go to an F sharp, which is just 2 frets up from E. Because that F sharp works over the B7 chord. It's the 5th degree of B7. All right, so B, D sharp, F sharp. Okay, that's your 5. So that will work over the B7 chord. Now, one sort of crucial thing about all of this is that the notes are really kind of next to each other. We're not, playing right up the guitar, or the notes are not a huge distance apart. They're very close to each other, and that's going to, I guess, to a lot of people that sounds more musical, when you can have your notes as close to each other as possible. Even though the chords are quite distant apart from one another, your notes and the note selection you're using is very close to one another. It's always going to sound musical, and it's always going to sound correct. So let's try now that same thing, but this time I'm going to use the F sharp as well as our 3rd note over the B7 chord. So let's try that out. E again, guys. So I hope that helps. That we're going to sort of touch upon this a little bit more coming up, but it's a great tool to use to play over. So use that maybe in some different keys as well. You know, common keys: G, D, A, that kind of thing. Work out what your chord tones you're going to be using are, and work it over other keys as well. And obviously try to incorporate that into your own playing. I think it's going to add a different sort of dimension, I guess, a different sort of color to your playing. So I hope that helps, guys, and we will see you on the next one. Bye for now.